The great Bullet King lives on. In case you guys don't know, there's a cool little Easter egg that I think they added in the last patch for Bullet King. If you don't know who Bullet King is, he was one of the named NPCs that would walk around here that you could endlessly farm. And the only golds that he would drop was Caduceus's. Caduceus's, that's weird to say. But there's two of them above the Bullet King graffiti. I think that's really awesome. I showed my stream last night. I saw it in a tweet and I went and checked it out myself, and that's pretty cool that they can put something like that, because that was an iconic time in the game. A lot of people were farming Bullet King, and it's awesome that like Massive can kind of make fun of their own exploits. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought this is where I would show you guys my solo build. I'm really proud of this, and I hope you guys, you solo players out there can use this build, and it will help you survive in the Dark Zone. So before I show you guys what the build is, remember, this is a PvE build. This is not a build that you're going to go into the Dark Zone and just wreak havoc, going rogue and killing the whole server. That's not what it's built for. It's built to be able to loot and survive in the Dark Zone, to get the supplies you need in order to get other builds. That being said, let me show you guys what I have. So I am running a SMG, my MP7. I suggest you use maybe something a little bit different for this build. My MP7 is really good. That's the only reason I'm using it for this. But you can use like an AUG or a Vector or any SMG really. You want to have an SMG because that extra crit is going to really help you clear NPCs in the Dark Zone. So to show you guys what I have on my MP7, I have headshot damage and crit hit chance on my micro red dot sight. I have accuracy and critical hit damage on my flash hider. I have hipfire accuracy and stability on my underbarrel, but that's just because the hipfire accuracy is very helpful on PC because you can hip fire so accurately. So if you're on console, maybe switch that up with something else. Also, the MP7 needs stability, the AUG does not. So even if you have fire rate on your mag for your AUG, you probably don't need the stability. I would just get like maybe, I don't know, accuracy, hip fire accuracy would be kind of nice. And then 105% mag size, 12% weapon damage. The reason I'm running weapon damage instead of fire rate is because the RPM on the MP7 is absolutely ridiculous. It's 950, so it doesn't need any higher rate of fire. The rule of thumb really is if you have high fire rate, low damage, you get weapon damage. If you have low damage, high fire rate, well, I just said that backwards. If you have low fire rate but high damage, then you get the fire rate. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go to my second weapon, which is a M1A, which will help you clear mobs from a distance. I'm still running my 163 here. I haven't found a M1A that's better than this, but this has got Brutal, Deadly, Talented on it. Talented, super helpful for the solo build because when I kill a target, it helps increase my skill power so that I can get more heals. So 162% headshot damage. Let's look at the things I'm using. I'm using an MK4 M5A2 scope, which is a 15 times scope. Helps a lot. It's got 21% headshot damage, 6.5% crit. Oh no! The Bullet King! The Bullet King, they're coming back! The Bullet King posse is back to protect their realm. Okay. Well, they're dead. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so I have a hand stop underbarrel, Wolf Gray, that has accuracy, stability really nice for the sniper, and then my muzzle's got accuracy, crit hit damage. Some people are like, oh, you don't need accuracy on a sniper rifle. Yeah, you do, because that's what's going to make the shots go straight. An extended mag with 13.5% weapon damage, 95% magazine size, so, that's one of the highest weapon damages you can get, I believe. So pistol, really not important. Just get a pistol that you like. The pistols are really, not that important in this game. Alright, so for the build, we're running 4 Nomad, 2 Final Measure. Now, you may be questioning, why run Nomad? I heard it was so bad. Nomad actually isn't that bad for a solo build. It's specifically made for a solo build, actually. Now, what Nomad gives you, let me show you guys here real quick. it gives you 100% scavenging, which, by the way, when running this build, I've noticed that the items that I've gotten have been a lot better. Obviously, it's not going to give you more golds out of nowhere. You're not just going to randomly get golds from random, NPCs or anything like that. But what it gives you is, I think, a higher chance to get those talents on the weapons that you do get. Because I've noticed ever since running this build, I've gotten a lot more weapons that have, like, fierce, brutal, and deadly on them. Whereas on my other build, it's almost always that the guns drop with terrible, terrible talents. I don't know if this is a complete coincidence or if they actually changed scavenging. I have no idea. But what I was told is that scavenging allows you to get more medkits, ammo drops, and other things like that from the purple enemies, the veterans. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but it almost feels like I get better loot with this build. But I guess you guys will be the decider of that. The 20% health on kill is so unbelievably important, especially in the 201 plus bracket, where you're going to be needing that health back after killing an NPC because you're going to be taking so much damage. So that's really, really important. And the Path of the Nomad, which says, when receiving fatal damage, you're instead healed to full health, can occur once every 10 minutes. I've had a lot of people say that this doesn't work against PvP. It absolutely does. We tested it. It works in any situation. I've noticed sometimes what happens is it will bug and you'll go down and you won't be able to get revived. But, who knows? Maybe it's just, a bug here, but I haven't had it happen really at all, and it might have just been a bug due to something else, not sure. So almost every time that my Nomad has procced, it's worked. Don't forget, when you put your Nomad gear on, you have a 10-second cooldown before it's active, so make sure to remember that if you're switching out gear like Lone Star stuff to get your ammo, make sure that you know that there's a 10-minute cooldown on that when you switch your gear out. So yeah, all right, let's show you guys actually what I'm using. So I'm using a Nomad chest piece, has 10% health on kill. Like I said, this is really important. You want to get as much health on kill as you possibly can with this build because you're going to be taking so much damage. 650 armor, 12.5% exotic damage resilience. Notice that these are all defensive. You can also get damage to elites. Damage to elites in general is never really that good for PvP builds, but for this build, this is an extremely good stat, and it's going to help you clear, the gold enemies in the dark zone. So definitely not bad to have that. Ballistic shield health, which obviously isn't that good. I rather have pulse, critical hit damage here, pulse duration, whatever you end up getting in a slot, and then ammo capacity, which is going to help you out a lot. This is a stamina vest. Okay, let's go to the mask. So I'm running a final measure mask. This is a 240. It's actually a pretty good mask. 5% crit hit chance, 13% blind and deaf, and obviously the sticky bomb explosion radius doesn't help me out. But then again, I just put this build together. So if you guys are solo players, for a long time, or you're always playing solo, you guys will be able to start building towards better stuff. So yeah, that's firearms. So you want to make sure you have a good balance between firearms and stamina. So these knee pads are actually fantastic. They have 650 firearms. I have a stamina mod in them, exotic damage resilience, bleed resistance, burn resistance, disorient resistance, first aid, ally heal, which is kind of helpful because if other people in the dark zone are also, not rogue, they can heal you up, and this will give you 8% higher heal for that. So all of my mods, by the way, before people are like, oh, show us your mods. All the mods that I'm using are armor and stamina, every single one. So keep that in mind. The backpack I'm using is Final Measure. It is stamina. Now, this is really important to get the 6,000 skill power here on your backpack because your skill power is going to help lower your cooldowns of your abilities and stuff like that. And you're also going to heal for more, and you're going to do more damage on your pulse. So it's definitely important to have that extra skill power there. 13% burn resistance. 8.5% sticky bomb explosion radius, and 9.5 pulse critical hit damage. Obviously the pulse critical hit damage being kind of nice. The Bullet King guys are back. No, it seems like every area that I do these videos in ends up being a bad place. But I want to show you guys the Bullet King thing. Okay, So that's done. Now let me show you guys my gloves. Now I'm using gloves of the Nomad. You can switch these out if you don't want the 4-piece Nomad. You can switch these out for like Savage gloves if you really want. I mean, you can see if I put these in here, it gives me way more toughness, and the DPS doesn't actually go too low, but it's gonna uncheck. Yeah, it's gonna uncheck brutal here, but maybe you can switch out some firearms mods or something like that. But I find the 4-piece Nomad to be extremely helpful. That's just my opinion. It's up to you guys, but yeah. Okay, so these are firearms. 379 SMG damage, 10% damage to elites. Like I said, this is pretty helpful. 10% health on kill, which is super helpful, and 9.5% first aid self heal. The self heal here is pretty good. You might also want pulse critical hit damage there as well, since you're going to be using pulse with this build. And then holster the Nomad, which is 433 armor, 9.5% pulse critical hit damage, triple stat, you know, pretty good, not bad. So yeah, that's pretty much my build. I'll show you guys in my character attributes here. Weapon damage, crit chance 37%, crit damage 88%. Like I said, this isn't like a huge damage build, but it's going to help you survive in the dark zone because you're going to get so much health back from killing enemies. 46% headshot damage. Let's go down to like survivability. 41% health on kill. It's huge. 10% damage to elites. If you can get this damage to elites to like 20%, it will probably help you out a lot. Also, getting enemy armor damage would be pretty nice in this build as well. 18,000 skill power, no skill haste, unfortunately. So the health on this build, 85,600. That's a good amount. If you can get a little bit more, it'd be better. 75% armor mitigation, which is an absolute must. Exotic damage resilience, 72%. So you're going to be surviving. Like if a team jumps you in the dark zone, they shoot you with explosive bullets, you're not going to be able to, you know, take too much damage from that. It's going to be nice. 115% scavenging. Like I said, I'm not sure if that helps with drops. 10% reward credit increases the amount of credits dropped. I don't even know what that's from. But yeah, anyways, I just want to share with you guys this solo build. I'm actually going to trade all of these items to my second character so that whenever I get on and I play solo, I'm going to be able to play on that second character, but I have to level that character up to 30, so maybe I'll get somebody to power level me or whatnot. But yeah, that's my build. Let me know what you guys think about it. Maybe if you guys grab some extra Nomad pieces, you kind of just hold on to them until you can eventually, you know, do one of these builds and see how you like it. I personally find this really, really helpful when I'm playing solo. You know, I found my Brutal Deadly MP7 while running this build. I don't know if that has to do with the scavenging or what, or maybe they did like some secret update that fixed scavenging. I haven't heard anything about scavenging since the beginning of the game, so I'm not sure if they tweaked anything, but it definitely seems like I get better stuff with this build. I'm not sure if, like I said, I'm not sure if that's just a coincidence or not, but hopefully you guys enjoy this build. Let me know what you guys think of it. You know, the 2-piece final measure is going to help you against like the cleaners and stuff. You're not going to take as much damage from flamethrowers. Now, one more thing before I let you guys go. Remember that this build is only going to help you in DZ 1, 2, 3, and 4. DZ 05 and DZ 06, don't expect to be able to just run in there and survive. You're not going to. However, there are some tactics that I'll talk about in another upcoming video. I'm going to start a series on solo tips for, you know, solo players. You can actually aggro some of the DZ 06 enemies into other factions. You can kind of aggro the boss and all the other, you know, guys that you're aggroing into other factions, and then they fight each other, and then you can kill them because they're not focusing you. I will make a video on that, show you the spots to actually bring them and all that good stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop the video a like, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care, everybody.